All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Wednesday afternoon. Another lunchtime edition of Knicks Fan TV Live presented by KnicksFanTV.com. Head over to KnicksFanTV.com, join our free newsletter, and check out some merch while you're at it. Dog Days of Summer edition of the show. And on today's show, we are going to react to the Athletics Knicks Fan Survey. Over 3,000 Knicks fans were polled in this survey about the state of the team and the Knicks NBA championship hopes. So we're going to go through each one of these questions and react to it. Call me up on the KFTV Discord, man. Let me know how you guys are feeling. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to all of our Fanchise channel members. Salute to everybody on the lunchtime grind, man. Dog Days of the Summer. Let's get into it. All right, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. How we feeling? Salute to our Fanchise channel members in the building. Mellow Mike. Salute. Frat Guy 1906. He's an alpha man. Salute. Daniel Bosajor. Will Latimer. How you feeling? VC Shots. I see you. Jay Lopez. Lopez always in here. Draws Molman. Salute, man. Fanchise channel members are in here heavy. It is hump day indeed, man. Cloudy day. Overcast skies here in New York. Think they got some sort of like hurricane or tropical storm going on the Atlantic, so it's kind of messing things up over here. They closed the beaches down, no swimming because of the riptides. It's a little bit cool. It's about 60s, 70s, so I don't like this, man. It feels like summer is just about over. But then they say next week is supposed to heat back up. But either way, we've been having a lot more cooler days, cooler nights than I like, and it feels like the summer is coming to a rapid close. The Rhyme Animal Chuck D is in the chat as well. Salute to the OG, man. Stevie Nicks, I see you. Courtney J, salute above the rim. How you feeling? All right, let's get into it, man. So shout out to our guy Trilogy, a.k.a. James Edwards of The Athletic. He did let us know that he was doing this the last time he was here on the show, and that is he polled our fellow Knicks fans to get their opinions on the state of the team and the upcoming season. 3,000 fans participated, and here's question number one. And that is, let me just make it a little bit bigger for my people at home to see. Let's make this one a little bit bigger here so everybody at home could see, man. Some of you like me need glasses and whatnot, so got to make it fair. Okay, it says, how far do the Knicks have to go next season for you to consider it a success? What do you guys think in the chat? So now this one, the responses were worded a little bit awkwardly. For example, 43% said winning the Eastern Conference Finals, meaning getting to the NBA Finals. 30% said losing in the NBA Finals, which is like, it's almost the same, right? Like if you win the NBA, if you win the East, you go into the Finals. And then 30% said losing in the NBA Finals would be a success. Winning the championship, 11%. So that's kind of interesting. And then 15% said losing in the Eastern Conference Finals. What do you guys think? For me, this is finals or bust. Absolutely. Finals or bust, man. I think the way that the East is shaping up, again, we could have surprises. You never know how good Atlanta could be. Maybe Orlando surprises people. I'm not so sure. But for me, I don't see any team stopping the Knicks from getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I think once they get there, even if it's Cleveland, they should be able to beat that team. Especially with Cleveland's track record, getting into the playoffs, being a soft team, being a team who gets injured as well. I think the Knicks should be able to get to the NBA Finals this year. Health permitted. That is the biggest asterisk for this team. Health permitted, I think this Knicks team should be able to get to the finals. And that will be my definition of a success, getting to the finals. Now, if they lose a tough Game 7 against the Cavs, I'll be disappointed. And if they lose a tough Game 7 against the Cavs in Cleveland, it'll take me a little while to get over it, but maybe I'd consider it okay. But for me, this team should be able to get there. What do you guys think in the chat? Stevie Nicks said, yeah, it's the same thing, right? So that one was it was worded a little bit awkwardly there. So what do you guys think? Over 70% of the votes suggest that New York has to at least make it to the finals. And I would agree, especially coming 2 games shy of the finals. You have Boston, you would expect to be a mere mortal this year. The Pacers as well. I would expect the Knicks to get there. They're calling the Eastern Conference the Leastern Conference. Okay, next question. How confident are you that the Knicks will be the number 1 seed in the East next year? 74.5% said cautiously optimistic. 7.2, just a mere 7.2 said very confident. You had a small percentage say no way. I think those are people just trying to throw off the poll. And 16.9 said a non-zero chance. I would say cautiously optimistic as well. It's no telling what the learning curve will be as it relates to Mike Brown's new system. How long will it take for them to get acclimated to it? The second half schedule is a bit more, not even the second half. I mean, after the NBA Cup Finals, like that mid-December, it gets kind of tricky with the travel and the opponents. So how fast of a start can they get out to? How long will it take for them to get acclimated to Mike Brown's system? And then can they stay healthy throughout the season? As I was saying in previous episodes, they were very, very fortunate to get through last season relatively healthy. I mean, Cap's ankle injury was tough, but that was at the end of the season, and they got him back for the playoffs. And mind you, he played through the playoffs with a sprained ankle. Karl-Anthony Towns, thumb, finger, knee tendonitis throughout the entire season. For the most part, like 3/4 of the season, Towns was banged up. Still made it through. OG's foot injury. Remember the way he went down against the Lakers with LeBron? Damn near have to pick him up and send him to the locker room. That was scary. And he didn't miss that much time. Missed a couple of games and then made it back after the All-Star break. They were fortunate. And then being able to get Mitch back right in time for the playoffs and for him to play well and ramp up and play well. They were very fortunate. And it's so interesting because we all saw how Cleveland and Kenny Atkinson was talking about, we got to pace these guys. We're going 13 deep in the rotation. We're going limited minutes for Spider. And they get to the playoffs, they're banged up. Garland's got the toe injury. Spider's banged up. DeAndre Hunter gets injured in the playoffs. It's hard to tell. So I would expect Cleveland to be right back up there as a team that can rip off wins. And I think the Knicks will be up there. So who finishes with the number 1 seed? Hard to tell. But I'm with the 74% that's cautiously optimistic. What do you guys think in the chat? I'm with that 73%. Frat guy Cat also wasn't 100% healthy, yep, but still played at his best. Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. Plus, I said 53 wins. So is 53 wins going to be enough to win the East? I'm not so sure because the Cavs finished last year with, I believe it was 64. Celtics 61. I think the Cavs can get that back again if they stay healthy. So, in my prediction of the Knicks around that 53, 54 wins, I think that might be second seed. Next one. Did you agree with the firing of Tom Thibodeau? 37% said yes. 32% said indifferent. And almost 30% said no. So this was pretty mixed. Pretty mixed. What did you guys think in the chat? I fell on the side of the more indifferent. I thought based on the job that he did last season, he had earned his right back. But I also understood the reasons why he was let go. And the need to find somebody who can help get them over the hump. I don't just think, when everybody's, this was a Dolan knee-jerk reaction. I don't think so. And I've said this several times why. But I could understand it. Is it a gamble? Hell yeah. Big time. But I can understand it. We'll see what Mike Brown does. Was he the first? Their plan A? Probably not. We'll see what Mike Brown does. The pressure is on, no question about it. But with the investments that they made in this roster, head up at the second apron, in an era where it's very difficult to compete, they made the easiest decision they could make in terms of change with hopes for improvement. And that is the head coach. It was time for a new voice. They wanted someone who could work in tandem with his staff, with the front office. So I got it. I understood it. And clearly, some of the players didn't care for him anyway. So it was time. I wouldn't have had a problem if they brought him back. I didn't have a problem that they fired him. Junior Caroma, you made it. Let's go. Salute. Pressures on the JJ says pressures on the players, not Coach Brown. You're the face. You're the guy that answers to the media. Pressure's going to be on Brown too. Let's make no mistake. Players for sure, but the pressure's going to be on Mike Brown. Absolutely. Okay. Did you like the hiring of Mike Brown? 70% say I'm not sure yet. 8% say no. I don't think he'll be an upgrade. 21% say yes. I'm with the 70%. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What I do like is that he's another hard-nosed coach. Attention to detail. He's been in a lot of different championship scenarios. He's been to the finals as an assistant and won. He knows what it takes to get there. He has the experience to handle it. What I'm cautious about, some of the things that his mistakes in Sacramento, throwing the players under the bus, how will that work with player relations? How much better can he improve the offense? How much better can he improve the defense? Can any coach cover up the inherent weaknesses of having Brunson and Towns out there in championship caliber minutes? How do you do that? Can it be done? That's why I'm not sure, but I'm willing to give it a chance. Not sure, willing to give it a chance. You know, can those two be part of a championship caliber defense? Like when you look at OKC won the chip. Where was the weakness in not just their starting five, but their entire roster? Shea? You want to say Shea's a weakness? The guy was getting like 3-4 steals a game in the finals. Dort? All defense. Jalen Williams? Ferocious defender. Chet? Great defender. Ihart? Great defender. Casey Wallace? Great defender. Caruso? Great defender. Where was the holes in that OKC defense? That's going to be the question with Mike Brown. What do you guys think? What side are you on the hiring of Mike Brown? Oh, Trilogy says he deserves the benefit of the doubt out the gate. I'm with that. Did you like the process the front office took in firing and hiring a new head coach? Now, this was interesting. 32% said no, it was uninspiring. 30% said no, it looked like everyone wasn't on the same page. And 28% said yes, they did their due diligence. 9% said yes, they needed a new coach. So I don't know. You can kind of lump those in together. Right? You can kind of lump that 37% in there together. So to me, it was kind of mixed. I didn't mind it. You had to do your due diligence. Now, was Jason Kidd choice number one? Maybe. They tried to get him. They got denied. There weren't that many coaches available. Some of you guys wanted Mike Malone. I told y'all for months, he's not even an option. Mark Jackson, not an option. Taylor Jenkins was up there. Now, from what I heard, he backed out. Was it the assistant coaching situation? Was it the pressure? I heard he backed out of the process. Where did they have him as opposed to Brown? It was mixed. On some days I heard he was at the top. Then I heard Brown was at the top. And that was probably because Jenkins backed out. So if you read between the lines, it seemed like Jenkins was probably their preferred choice. And for whatever reason, he backed out. Stevie Nicks, Slim Pickens. They even talked to Dawn Staley, as reported here by Knicks Fan TV and nobody else. So they crossed their T's, they dotted their I's, they try to talk to people. And sometimes you may not, the people that you bring in may not necessarily be strong candidates, but you want to do some recon. I didn't mind that. That's all part of the process. All part of the process. They do it in all sports. Are they right? We'll see. But I wasn't mad at the process. You know, they even went and looked at the assistants. Micah Nori. Is he a guy? I think they wanted that intel on how to unlock Cat the best. Joe Schmo says, I applaud them for searching. Hey, they try to talk to Udoka. How real was it? Because Billy Donovan, same way. Like both of those guys ended up getting their contract extension. So was that more them helping those guys out? Was that more their agents putting that out there to try to gain leverage on their respective teams? We'll see, but can't knock them for trying to get coaches of that caliber. Billy a little bit more questionable because even though he's a hometown guy and I like him a lot, hasn't had that much success at the pro level. Now, didn't have the best horses, doesn't have the best horses in Chicago. You be the judge on Billy, but he got his bag. Okay, next question. A year later, do you like the trade for Mikal Bridges? 41% said I'm still not sure. 36% said yes, the trade has been a success so far. And 23% say no, the Knicks gave up too many assets. Where are you guys on that one? Mikal Bridges. How did you feel about the Bridges transaction? How did you feel about it then? How do you feel about it now? For me, look, even though he had a tough year, he had an up and down year. Clearly, he was trying to get adjusted to the role. Clearly, he was not so high on Tibbs. Maybe that factored into it. But I still thought he had some really bright spots for the Knicks this year. You go to games 1 and 2 of the Boston series, and Mikal Bridges is right there at the end of it, making signature stops. The Portland game, when Brunson went out, he had some good spots. And he had to take on the toughest opponents, typically every night. And usually that was at the guard spot. It was a tricky fit for him. Nevertheless, I'm still making that trade. It's the cost of doing business. It's the cost of trying to do business with your crosstown rival. You're going to pay the tax. And you had to do what you had to do. But to get back a plus defender and a guy who was your third or fourth option offensively, I thought by and large he was good for the Knicks. And he's going to be very important for this team moving forward. So that's why I want to keep him here. Yes, I'm going to give him this bag. And I'm going to see what this new coach can do to get the most out of him. Stevie Nicks, how many games did he miss? How many games did he miss? JJ says Desmond Bane's much better. What'd he do for Memphis? Let me see what he does with Paolo and Franz before I make him an all-star. I like the Mikal Bridges trade. And I'm going to support it. I'm going to support it. You heard when Fred Katz came on the show, the salary slot was important. Oh, I've had the wrong up. How'd that happen? Anyway, the salary cap slot, the salary spot was important when they made the trade. And it will continue to be important as they go forward. So, hey, maybe he's packaged up in a trade later on. But for right now, when you look at the opportunity cost, you need him. You definitely need him. So I'm good with Bridges, man. But you guys let me know in the chat, what do you think? Okay, now, next question is, a year later, do you like the Karl-Anthony Towns trade? 66% said, yes, the trade has been a success so far. 23.2% said, I'm still not sure. And 10% said, no, the Knicks gave up too much depth and added risk. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? To me, I like the trade. And the only thing that was tough for me wasn't about losing Julius. As you guys know, I didn't have faith in him being a second piece here. It was more so losing Dante that was tough to part with. But in trying to raise their ceiling, I was with the move, and I think it was a success. Thought it was a success. Doesn't mean that Towns doesn't have his own, what I would call, questionable traits. Sometimes headaches. But to me, it was a worthwhile trade. And hey, they got to the Eastern Conference Finals, man. Almost got to the finals. I'm with the trade, man. It was tough to lose Dante, but you had to do what you had to do. And clearly, Towns was on their target. They didn't believe in Julius. They didn't want to pay Julius. I don't blame him. He had a great year with Minnesota. Give credit to Julius. Congratulations to him. He had a great year in Minnesota. But I'm with the Towns trade. Now, again, the question marks with him and Brunson coexisting. Can he stay healthy? How will Mike Brown unlock him as a hub in the offense? I'm with it. So far, so good. What do you guys think in the chat? I'm with the 66%. I can't believe y'all are giving that a pass. J. Fetty Wop. Can't believe y'all are giving that a pass. We're giving what a pass, sir? Oh, and the Mikal trade. Yeah, I'm with the Mikal trade, bro. Jamie Hernandez. Hi, mate. How you feeling? Okay. So to everybody in the chat. Okay, Jason Benjamin, his super chat. Happy with the trade. He won us the Celtics series. He did. Never forgive actions. As CP, outside of the defense, what do you think about Cat's soft rep now? To me, and this is what I said when you guys have the clip, the highlight reel, where I talked about I put Cat in one of those players that I didn't want to trade for. And the soft reputation for me, the defense woes is the defense woes. That's what it is. The soft reputation for me is not always showing up when it's money time. That's where it was for me. And even though he had great moments in the playoffs, game 4 against the Pistons, game 3 against the Pacers, he saved the Knicks. I still feel like there's times where you're looking for him. He got benched in game 2 of the Pacers series. Was that a bonehead move on Tibbs? You can argue that. But also, he was so unimpactful in that game. I was there watching. Like Tibbs said, we searching for answers here. Those are the type of head-scratching things where it's like, remember, we were asking those questions. Is it on Towns? Is it on Tibbs? Is it on the point guard? It's maybe a combination of all three. And that's who he's been. He's a very perplexing player at times. Jason says he played through injuries, not so. Again, that's not it. It's not about being weak physically. We know he can play through it. It's the decision making. It's the decision making. And that's what separates the all-stars from the superstars. Is to have the mental toughness to make your team better in the times of duress. Cap has that clutch, has that factor, has that gene a bit more than Towns does. What do you guys think in the chat? That's where I say it's like, man, like sometimes it's like, where are you? Aggravated man. He makes some boneheaded decisions. Don't take it from me. Take it from Melo. What was Melo saying? 7 p.m. to Brooklyn. He should be dominating the mismatches a lot more. We had these same questions about him in the playoffs. So that's where my definition of Soft comes from. It's not that he can't play through pain or that he doesn't play hard for the team. I think he does, but he doesn't always play smart. And that's exactly why I said the cap for Julius swap is a question mark for a question mark. I hope to be proven wrong. Courtney J says, I say he had mental lapses, but that doesn't equal soft. I'm just saying that's how I would define it. That's how I would define it. The stupid fouls, like things like that. So that's all. Very talented offensive player, and I'm good with the trade. I'm happy to have him. Okay, this was a good one on the survey. Jason Benjamin, did he send another one? Okay. Mental lapse is different than soft in my opinion. Okay, that's okay. Well, that's okay. I respect your opinion and your definition. That's just how I would define it, because with those mental lapses, you often see him disappearing in big spots. That's why I say soft. He should have never been benched in the fourth quarter of game 2. That the question of benching him should have never even crossed Tibbs' mind. But again, there are 3 parties involved in making that decision, where part of me understood it. That shouldn't happen with a superstar player. Okay, next question. What should the starting lineup be next season? This is a good one. 58.7% say Brunson, Bridges, OG, Towns, and Mitch. That's my lineup. 20% say Brunson, McBride, Bridges, Anunoby, Towns. So now both of these involve putting Josh Hart on the bench. 58%, a strong majority, say they want Mitchie in there. Defense. And 20% say, let's have true 5-out spacing. Let's get better shooting 1 through 5. You put Deuce in there. And then 17% say, let's go with the original starting lineup from last year, with Hart in there. What do you guys think? I'm gonna go with my 58% and go with Mitchie in there. I want more defense. I want to start and end with defense. I want to set the tone defensively, and I want to close out games with Mitchie in there, getting the critical rebounds and getting the key stops. That's my philosophy. Now, matchup-wise, depending on who you're playing out there, you may get hurt, but that was really with the Pacers. You know what I mean? Just based on their style of play. Like if we look up and down the East, am I worried so much with Mitch out there with the Hawks and Porzingis or Okongwu? Not really, because I can switch Mitch out onto the perimeter. Am I worried with the Magic? Not really. Am I worried with the Bucks? Not really. Am I worried with Cleveland? Definitely not. I want Mitch out there to match up. We got to match up with their Twin Towers. I want to see teams play to our strengths. I want to see us play to our strengths. Don't be so concerned about getting beat with speed. I don't see that much out there. Now, when we go to Trilogy's explanation here, he says the former lineup played, that lineup with Mitch played 65 minutes together in the playoffs. They posted a minus 3.7 net rating. The Hart lineup, minus 6.2 net rating. So neither one was just, leaps and bounds fantastic. But with Mitch out there, he limited the damage a little bit more. Starting lineup with Mitch wasn't used much in the regular season because Mitch missed a lot of time. We know that. Now, what do we think about the McBride factor in the lineup? You could put McBride out there Paul Bigelow, I see you. Salute. First time catching live. Everybody welcome Paul Bigelow to the chat. You could put McBride out there, but then you got more non-shooters to deal with off the bench. Now you got Mitch, you got Hart playing with Clarkson and Yabusele. I'm still going to go with Mitch, and it doesn't mean, to me, it doesn't mean that he has to log 30-plus minutes a night. Because I still think McBride should be a factor, especially for his on-ball defense. I would like to see him playing with JB just to have somebody off-ball that can shoot. JJ makes a great point. We'd only have one rebounder out there if we start Deuce. That's why I'm like a little bit hesitant there. I like Deuce at coming off the bench as a bench guy. Who's rebounding with Cat if we start Deuce? That's true. That means OG's got to bang a little bit more. At least when you had Hart in that lineup, he's rebounding. You know that. You know you're getting double digits from Hart. Jason Benjamin, super chat. So to Jason Benjamin once again. And I gotta get my soundboard here. Shout out Jason Benjamin. Yeah, who's rebounding? He echoed JJ sentiments. I'm with that as well. Start Ben Simmons. Oh Lord. This is a Start Ben Simmons retirement tour. Okay, next question. Oh, hang on. We got a Fanchise channel member comment from NYC B-Ball 08. Says, make that dream of 80 a reality. JB Bridges, OG Cat, 80. NYC B-Ball, how you getting 80? Who you trading to get 80 here? You just named the entire Knicks starting five with Anthony Davis. I mean, they told me I was dreaming. You sound like you dreaming. Who you trading now? Who's in the trade? Above the rim says stop hating on Simmons. All right, well. He's currently on the unemployment line, sir. There's not too many teams beating down his door. You be the judge. Okay. All right. So here's the next one. How many seasons will you give this iteration of the Knicks to win a championship before you panic? That's a good question. 55% say 2 seasons. 30.9% say 3 seasons. 7.1% say 4, and 6% say 1. 6% say, hey, it's do or die. I'll say we really got to look at, contractually who be due up, the Cat extension, who would be available. I'd go with the 55, but I mean, it really depends on how they perform. Like, if I go with the 55 and I go those 2 seasons and they woefully underperform, like first round exits, then yeah, I'll panic. But if we're talking about them, continuing to fall short where, okay, they make it to the finals, they lose to OKC. Okay, they make it to the East Finals, maybe an injury, they lose in Game 7. Like, they're still knocking on the door. I wouldn't be panicking if they're knocking on the door. I'd be looking to make more tweaks. But I wouldn't necessarily be panicking. You know what I mean? And look how many times the Celtics were a bridesmaid under Tatum and Brown before they finally made it. They kept tweaking. They kept on tweaking, and they finally got it. So it depends on, panic. You need a bit more context to know when to panic. It'd be hard to deal with as you seeing them be a bridesmaid, but if they're right there, if they're knocking right there, then I'm just looking to tweak. And then we'll see what's up. Man, it took Boston a minute, man. Suppose they lose back-to-back finals. Man. I don't know. I might retire. I don't know if my heart will be capable of going on for the third season, Chuck. Shout out to Omar Shalaby, Fanchise channel member, says, I think we got a good bench now. I think so, too. And speaking of Clarkson, we're going to talk a little bit about Clarkson to close the show. Okay, here's a good one. Do you still have faith that Jalen Brunson can be the best player on a championship team? 82% say yes. We believe in Captain Clutch. No question he can be the best player on the team. 14.2 say I'm still not sure. And a small percent say no, he can't. What do you guys think in the chat? I believe in Cap. I think he can. The question is twofold. How do you cover those weaknesses with him and Cat defensively in crunch time scenarios? And pardon it, I got drill music going on in the back, legit drill music going on in the back. I'm doing a little construction. How do you cover those defensive weaknesses with him and Cat in crunch time scenarios? Can Mike Brown do it? And to Omar Shalaby's point, is there enough depth where if they make it as a unit, they have enough, especially on the defensive end? That's where we got a question. And we just talked about OKC's depth. There are no holes in that front seven defensively. That is part of what makes them so great. You got to play championship caliber defense. Do they have the depth offensively, defensively, and the versatility to be a legitimate championship team? I think Cap can be part of it in this new NBA. Now, a lot of his peers say you can't have a small guard, do this, that, and the third. I think Cap can do it. He's that dangerous offensively. Now, again, defensive side is where the question marks are going to be, and time will tell. But I'm going to lean with that 82%. I think he can be. JB says it's hard hiding two guys offensively. I understand totally. I understand that totally. But I think Cap can be the best player on the team. In this era of NBA, I think he can. And that was it. Good exercise, man. Hey, I told you I'm going to get you out through the dog days of summer now. It's good exercise. If you guys want to call me up in the KFTV Discord, you guys can certainly do that. You know, maybe it's just the growing pains that they needed to get through. You know what I'm saying? Now, what else we got here on the off-season circuit? You know, this is the time of year where we post the workout videos and you guys comment on them. Well, we had a good one today, man. Shout out to Chris Brickley and Black Ops. We had Tyler Kolek and Jordan Clarkson shooting a fair one at Black Ops basketball, going one-on-one. And right now, Knicks fans are commenting actively on Knicks Fan TV, Twitter, and Instagram at Knicks Fan TV. You've seen Tyler show off a couple of moves in the arsenal. Neither one of them playing particularly great defense, but hey, these are two good offensive players. Here's Jordan Clarkson. Do-rag on with the sweatpants pockets out. Ooh, pull-up jumper. Do-rag on with the flaps out. Oh, no. He's got it tied up. Okay. Showing a little dribble move. The assistant applying a little pressure there defensively. Here's Tyler going around the screen. Fadeaway. Okay. Tyler getting a little fadeaway mid-range going. All right. Here's Tyler. Couple of screens. Doesn't take him. Oh, step back. Ooh. Got him. A little tween and into the step back, and he gets him. Here's Tyler again working on it. Oh, we don't need the screen. Oh, a little crossover. Stop, dribble, pop. Got him. Okay, here's Jordan Clarkson. He wants to get right back at him. In the paint, fade away over 2 defenders. It's a swish. Tyler back at him. Crossover, going to his left. Little fade away, nothing but net. Tyler, where was this in Summer League, buddy? Okay, here we go. Tyler again. Stop and pop. Jordan Clarkson gets it. He's going left. Little fade away, a little Dirk action. Okay. He's got him. Here's Clarkson. Okay, he's going right. A little turnaround jumper over 2 defenders. Nasty work. Tyler going right back at him. Okay, a little in and out dribbles. Stop and pop. Got him. Here's Tyler in the post. Okay, a little rip through. And he gets him. Okay, so Tyler Kolek working on his arsenal, ladies and gentlemen. In the post. Okay. Oh, okay. A little up and under for Tyler. Right scoop layup. Jordan, you got to step your defense up, man. All right. Tyler going right back at him. In the post. Faces up. Gets him with the, baseline jumper. All right, here's Jordan Clarkson. Jordan on the baseline. Goes to his right, dribble, fade away, got him. All right, here's Jordan Clarkson off the check. 3-pointer. It's good. All right. Jordan with another jumper. It's good. It's pure. It's pure. Here's Tyler. Tyler, you got to clap back. He's been getting you. Tyler over 2 defenders. Baseline jumper. It's good. Okay, here's Jordan Clarkson on the catch. Drive. Euro. And he gets it in. Okay. All right, so I'm giving you a little off-season workout edition play-by-play. Everybody's getting ready. So what do you guys think? A little Jordan, a little Tyler. They're getting ready. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Tyler, where was that in Summer League, man? We were looking for that in Summer League, boy. All right, so with that being said, Tyler did meet with our guy, Ian Begley, friend of the program, and he was at a basketball camp. Ian was able to attend and get some words from Tyler Kolek. Here was a couple of, we'll play a little bit of this. Here was a little bit of what Tyler Kolek is doing this all season, and especially what he's working on. Here we go.
Has there been a focus for you in workouts, like a specific skill? Like, how do you approach that with the workouts?
Yeah, you kind of take the year in review and take a little bit of time away from the game and really think about what you want to work on and how you want to attack the off season. For me, I feel like just finishing in the paint is definitely something that I've really tried to work on, and being able to shoot the 3 if the guy goes under, or even if the guy goes over, being able to shoot the 3 off the dribble. Obviously, shoot the 3 off the catch, being able to space the floor for our guys. So
now, I mean, for you, do you have?
All right, that's it right there. That's it right there. That's exactly what we were looking at all year. Got to hit those 3s, especially if the guy's ducking the screen. If he's going under, you got to make him pay. So Tyler's letting you know what he's working on this all season, and as we see in the one-on-ones against Jordan Clarkson in the training with Chris Brickley, offense. That's what he needs to get legitimate backup point guard minutes this season. He can play make in his sleep, no problem. And he'll be great at it, especially when they play fast and play with pace. Gotta get into his bag and be a threat out there. There's got to be a threat out there. So good to see him working on that. Again, this is Ian Begley's interview with Tyler Kolek. This is part of the Putback with Ian Begley on SNY. You can catch the full show on SNY's YouTube channels, man. Well, we support our guy Ian Begley at all times. He's a friend of the program. This is our guy. Here we go.
Goals coming into year 2, does that change year 1 to year 2?
Yeah, I mean, you always have goals and expectations for yourself. First year, I didn't play as much. I played some meaningful minutes, but obviously you always want more. And coming into this year, just trying to earn my role, whatever the team needs me to do. Just trying to prove to guys that I can be out there, I can be out on the floor, I can impact winning.
What about Mike Brown? What do you think it's going to be like under Coach Brown?
Yeah, I think it'll be good. Change is always different. You always have to adjust to that. So just, kind of getting to know him, getting to know the rest of the staff, I'm really excited for.
And you mentioned just kind of knowing what you're getting into because you've been through it for one off season and one season. The things you expect things to like be slowed down a little bit in year two. Sometimes younger players say that.
Yeah, I think, kind of like I was saying, the day-to-day stuff, your head kind of spinning, figuring out what you want to do, figuring out your routines. That's the stuff that's challenging in the first year, and I feel like second year you've been through the fire, you've been through a full season of it already, you've been through training camp, preseason, all that stuff. So just knowing what to expect, being prepared for what's to come, that's the biggest thing. They always say preparation, for me, I feel like is the most important thing.
The vets that you had year one, obviously most of the guys back year two, who's been helpful to you in terms of showing you the way, things like that?
Yeah, obviously Jalen, he's one of the best players in the NBA, so being able to watch him every day work and strive for greatness has really been special. Last year, campaign really helped me out, kind of in that backup guard role coming in. He's kind of been through that on, 5 or 6 teams in the NBA, however many it's been, but he's really experienced in that role and really being able to help me with my mindset coming into the game, how I should be attacking it. Another guy, DeLon Wright, too. Those two veteran guys, it's so important. You see the stars, you obviously see Jalen, Mikal, OG, Cat, all the stars, they're in a different perspective because they are the stars. It's a different weight. But those guys who have kind of been on the bench for their careers and have made great careers for themselves, 10+ years in the NBA, that's what every guy dreams of doing. And so I kind of lean on those guys. Even if they're not playing, they kind of give me great insight into what I should be doing day to day, how I should be attacking every day, how I should be attacking every game.
Yeah, it's good insight there, man. He bigged up Cap, he bigged up Campaign, and even Delon Wright. And a lot of times we'll look at some of these bench guys and say, well, listen, they're not as talented, and so they're not getting the playing time like a guy like a Delon Wright. However, even though talent fluctuates in the NBA, mindset, leadership, habits, things of that nature, some guys have it, some guys have it and impart that wisdom on the younger players. So those are some of the guys that he bigged up. So shout out to those guys, Campaign, Delon Wright. I was a big Delon Wright guy when he got here. On the unemployment line right now, both of those guys, we'll see where they end up. Well, the Knicks, look to bring in a guy like a Delon Wright, could be a Landry Shamet, but those things are important, especially for a young player. And as Ian said, asked him, hopefully things start to slow down a little bit for him. And as he adjusts, he's able to just concentrate on his game, open up that offense a little bit. And, hey, maybe you see another level of Tyler Kolek that we have not seen just yet.
Just as the current lone NBA player from Rhode Island, do you take pride in that? What does that mean to you?
Definitely take pride in that. Smallest state in the country. I was actually in the gym yesterday with a bunch of guys from that area, just like, man, I don't know how I got here, but I did. And a lot of other guys are doing great things overseas, or some guys are in the G League. So it's special for us to all get together and connect and just follow each other's journey, because you want to stay connected to where you're from and stay connected to those guys you kind of grew up playing with and grinding with.
Now you and Ariel Hukporti and Kevin McCullough, the rookies with the Knicks. Is there a camaraderie with the rookies from last year because you kind of been through something together?
Yeah, definitely. I think any experience you go through, you're gonna build a bond and a relationship with guys. And I think last year we did that. We had Pacom Daddy,
of course,
four rookies. So that's a good amount of us. Normally a team has 1 or 2 or whatever it is, but 4 of us going through it together kind of made it easier for us to lean on one another in the tough times.
Was it good to get on the floor with those guys in Summer League?
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, we've been working, all year for that. If we weren't playing as much, we were in the gym, working out together, playing pickup together, in the Stay Ready groups and everything like that. And then, right after the season, we got like a little 2-week break, and then we were right back at it with each other. So it was good to get out there with those guys, and I was happy for them to be able to show what they could do.
All right, so that was our guy Ian Begley once again on the Putback with Ian Begley. You can catch that on all SNY platforms, and he was there with Tyler Kolek. Tyler just giving an update on what he's up to this summer and talked about playing alongside some of the young guys like Kevin McCullough and Ariel Hukporti. Okay, and this was another clip that I'll end with. This was You know, Jordan Clarkson, I told you, as soon as Clarkson got here, he's a fashion guy. So he's coming here. We got Fashion Avenue, the fashion capital of the world. You knew he was going to get activated very fast. So he ended up doing a Kith fashion show. Ronnie Fig and Kith, they're kind of debuting some of the new Knicks stuff and some of the new fall line for Kith. And so he had a part of the rollout. He had an interview segment, a little clip with Jordan Clarkson. And in this clip, Jordan talks about what it means to be rocking that orange and blue, that Knicks jersey, man. So here's the newest Knick, Jordan Clarkson. Here we go.
Tell me what you think the biggest differences will be in becoming a New York Knickerbocker.
I just think the energy in the arena. This is a place that, you know, everybody wakes up and wants to play, you know, wants to be a part of it. So I think being a Knick, in that sense, you have a sense of pride. You know, it's love around the city, always for the Knicks. I think when you go out there, be confident and show love and really play for the city and embrace it and wear that on your skin when you're out there on the floor and play with pride and know it's bigger than yourself and this team, I feel like that's when you really are engaged and, you know, want to take it to the next level. And I'm ready for it all and super excited and, you know, ready to get to it.
All right. So a little clear. Hey, that was a good soundbite by him right there. But I've been saying this, and I truly believe it. Leaving that loser situation in Utah, no disrespect to them, good people, I guess. But to come here with championship caliber expectations and talk about playing with pride, you in New York, orange and blue, you know, Filipino background, pride all the way around. I think that's going to provide a spark in him. And we're going to get the best out of it. I truly believe it. You know, this is no homerism, no Homer shades. I think he's going to take it up a notch here. Now he's got something to play for, that playoff energy. He's going to be all right here. Yeah, above the rim said he gets after it. I think he's going to be really good here. Good environment to be in. Yeah, let's play some defense. And pass the ball when you got to pass it. You know what I mean? Don't be heat checking like campaign. All right? That's it. That's it, man. But yeah, man. Who's that? NYC B-Ball. Father P said, did you produce a background music? I didn't, but it was good. It was a good production by Ronnie Feig and the Kith people. Good job. Good job by them. Okay. Bang! Shout out to Take Mob General, $5 Super Chat says, too much fear in here for me. We are going to and winning the chip. Okay. So there you go. I think that's Kane Marco. I think Kane Marco said, hey, man, stop being scary. Take off the diapers. That was my go-to bar in the playoffs. So I'm going to bring that back in the playoffs. And probably during the season when you guys crash out on Mike Brown. BLW. Shout out to BLW, man. Bang! He says, his super chat is, I hope Tyler succeeds. I'm impatient. Win now. All right. We get the message, man. I'm with you. I'm ready to win. You ready to win? Let's win. Let's win together, man. All right, man. Great show to the family, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Remember to hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. The dog days of the summer. I told y'all I'm going to get y'all through it, man. I told y'all I'm going to get y'all through. So, everybody, whoever you watching, thanks again for watching. Remember to hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. We're quickly climbing to 100,000 subscribers, man. We are almost there. Like, share, and subscribe. Head over to KnicksFanTV.com. Check out your merch and sign up for the newsletter. Absolutely free. And you get instant announcements, instant KFTV right to your email box. You can't lose. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D once again. Shout out to all of our mods, all of our Fanchise channel members. And we'll see you guys on Friday with another episode of Knicks Fan TV Live, man. Thanks again for tuning in. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.